welcome to episode 11 of Sequin Girly Creates. If you are an existing subscriber, it's lovely to have you back, and if you're new, welcome. Often this is about sewing, but also other creative pursuits. This week's episode, I've got some fabric to share with you, lots of sewing updates, and also a sewing pattern adjustment that I want to share for those of you like me who sometimes find that trousers and shorts just don't fit correctly, and also some thoughts and plans that are coming up. It's lovely to have you here. Let's get started. To get today's episode started, let's begin with what I'm wearing. So this fabric, as you can see here, is a gorgeous viscose challis from Minerva. For the eagle-eyed of you, it was in episode 1 of the new series of Sewing Bee, and I think one of the marks, is there 2 marks on there? I can't remember. One of them used it to make a top, I think it was. I've been eyeing it up for ages and had it in my stash for a little while, and I haven't got round to sharing that I even had it. Well, in the past week, I've turned it into a patina blouse hack dress. So I left off the collar, which I did previously on a different dress, made shorter sleeves. I've stand up so you can see, I've gone right the way down to a little frill at the bottom. I will pop a picture in up here so you can see. I find that with the patina blouse, I don't really ever have to unbutton it, so I can go straight over the head. But on this occasion, I put on poppers, as inspired by Liz of The Baker That Sews, and actually they're really strong poppers, and a little bit nervous about damaging the fabric, but I only need it for emergency unbuttoning anyway, so they're perfect, and the colour just goes brilliantly with the circles and everything. I made a little bit of a mess in the middle with a really wonky waist seam, so I had to unpick and do a bit of that, but otherwise I'm really happy with it. It's perfect for this hot weather, as it feels swooshy but it's light and soft. I'm now a viscose challis addict, and I'll talk to you about some of my plans with some other viscose challis later in the episode. Okay, so let's begin with some shopping. I'm really trying not to, but this is from a few weeks of build up. I am really trying to work on using my stash, but people need to stop showing me things of lovely fabric that they're buying and stop influencing me. Now I need to get some control. Let's start with something interesting though that I saw on Instagram, and it is shearing tape is the best way I can describe it. It is called shearing elastic as well, but it looks like this. And so all the elastic's there, so you stitch along the top onto the fabric and the bottom, and then stitch in between the amount you want, and it creates like the shearing effect. So I'm going to give it a try. I've got it in the 40mm and in 20mm, and I'm going to give it a play and see what happens. Prim do it. I bought this off the roll from Empress Mills, and I look forward to sharing with you the results of that. And then let's talk about Fleur, I don't know, I try to say it properly but it like gets stuck in my mouth. She has 30% off with the code Summer Fun at the moment, and that's dangerous. So I got this amazing cotton lawn, trying to do some plains, getting close. This isn't a plain, but it is more of something that would go with other things. So it's a navy blue cotton lawn with little people, little ladies all over it in amazing outfits, doing different activities. So I've got this, which I thought would make a fantastic dress that would feel smart enough for when I'm going into meetings at work, but also lovely and cool, and I'm really loving the outfits of the people on there. I managed a plain. I got some apple green stretch woven, so it's like it's not, I don't know if it's a sateen, it doesn't have a shine to it, but I can just imagine that as a skirt, which would mean I could wear it with all these wonderful tops. Last one is not a plain, it is this linen it's too much me not to have it. I was thinking this would be amazing in a cord. I have been looking at the SD cord that Till in the Buttons have recently released. I do like it. I know that I will probably have problems like Becky Sews has across the front, which is it gapes. I'm aware I would probably have that problem too. So I'm just going to hold up. I'm going to get it washed and then think about it, but it will make a perfect cord, I know that. And then the other fabric that I've got is from Rainbow Fabrics. They had a sale on a while ago. They had 50 to 70% off. So you all know my love of jersey, and so I bought some jersey that isn't necessarily the colours and patterns I would usually buy, but for sort of workable toiles, wearable toiles. And I want to do a Scirocco jumpsuit and have the pattern now, and it means I can do the first one in one of these without worrying too much. So I got the baby animals one. This is already washed. This I think would make a great jumpsuit, particularly for wearing at home, the sort of secret pyjamas. It means you can pop out to the shops in it, and it's got that right level of thickness. This one is a more drapey one, and actually would be great for playing around, making a sort of a t-shirty dress, or just making a nice top with that pattern that I bought last week from eBay, based on Rouen sharing, the sort of the one that's got the lines down the front. So it is more drapey, but it's a really lovely summer colour actually. And the last one is also quite drapey, but I feel that this would be great. I think now I must make something other than jersey dresses, but this one's a great one as well. And they were working out about £3 or £4 a metre. How could I not, with my love of jersey? So there we go, that is my shopping that I've done over the last few weeks. I did get a couple of patterns, but I will talk about those in with the plans that I've got, and I did get them from the Fold line. Okay, let's talk about some sewing that I have done in the last week. So I did this dress, and I actually wore it yesterday for an event. I couldn't wait, and I finished it. Underneath there's a bit of work to do, but people can't see that from the outside. As I say, now a massive viscose chalet convert. I made my second pair of culottes. So I shared a couple of weeks ago the black sort of monochrome style ones, and I did do them in this fabric, the plan that I shared last week, I think it was, in my summer sewing plans. Just got the last bit to do, the hem to affix. I have done the zip. It's there, it's great, you can't really see it. I'm really happy again, second zip. I have got the pleats down the front. Hopefully by the time this video goes out there'll be a picture up here. If not, pop over to Sequin Girly on Instagram and you'll be able to see it. But here they are. This fabric was interesting to sew with. The pockets were quite a pain, and I almost wonder if I should have interfaced just a thin line on each side of the pocket, because the pocket is almost like a bit like pokey out, sort of like overly drapey. It's like I think it's called a plissé fabric, in that it's got lines on it, so it stretches to flatten out the lines. The fabric doesn't have stretch, but the lines cause it to have stretch, which has made it interesting to sew with. Trying not to stretch it as I sewed. They're so comfortable and swooshy, but I have tried to adjust the pockets and I've given them a good press, but I think what I'm going to do is put the waistband on, wash them, iron them, and then if I'm not happy with the pockets, I'm either going to stitch the pockets up and have to accept that I can't have pockets in everything, or I'm going to try putting an interfacing in just to strengthen them. Something is just not quite working with the nature of the fabric with the pockets, but I know I will work it out. And as I say, I have to accept that not everything can have pockets, but there we go, really happy. And I've actually cut an Ogden cami out in this fabric with the leftovers, so I can have another cord, but also mix and match. And that will be my first Ogden cami. It's cut out, so I'll hopefully do that this weekend. Let's go on to one of my other summer plans that I've already done. I shared last week that I had 3 vintage St Michael's pleated skirts that I didn't fit in anymore. I could hang on to them and hope and dream to get back in them, but I won't wear them or enjoy them. 2 have now become 1. I will pop a picture in up here for you, and in the 2 becomes 1 I have achieved this. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen I've already worn it out. I do need to do a little bit of finishing inside, but generally incredibly happy the way that it goes on the back. A couple of tips: if you're working with combining 2 pleated outfits, really think about here where you cut, so that I've got this pleat going over the join that's underneath. It makes it really hard at the waistband, so think about that. I'm playing around with the leftovers of this and the blue one, and I'm actually doing a bit of waistband unpicking with that. So lessons learned are watch out for the waistband, think about where you cut and how the pleats lie. And obviously I've got a bit of serging to do on the inside because we're looking a bit fray there, particularly on the green one. It's really funny, I've ended up with both of the labels inside because of the way they were put in, but I am delighted. As I say, I've already worn it out in the world, must do the finishing now, but it was something that I wanted to do, idea popped in my head, and I'm delighted with the results. Now I want to talk to you about something that I made last year, I haven't loved, but actually I'm loving for a different reason. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen pictures of these blue gingham culottes. Different kind, they're flat fronted and elastic at the back, and when I made them I was really disappointed because I have several Marks and Spencer's pairs of culottes, flat fronted, elastic at the back, wide leg, that I really love, and I wanted to make a pair myself so that I could start making that fabric I like, and also because M&S don't make the pattern I like anymore, so I thought I could do that. Firstly, I think this waistband is too wide for me, was a lesson I learned. But here at the edge where the flat front joins the elastic, it's super bulky, and I tried everything to reduce that, but couldn't. And that does not look flattering on my sides. It makes my sides look wider than they already are because it then bulks at the side. So I was extremely disappointed with that because the Marks and Spencer's ones I've got don't do that. So I was really disappointed with that, and I kind of just threw them on the meh pile. But actually, with the weather we've had this year, these are perfect for wearing at home. I don't leave my secret shorts on. They're cool because they're cotton, they're swooshy. I can sit on things without my legs sticking to them. So whilst I might never wear these out in the world, they are perfect at home trousers. It has made me want to fix this waistband issue and make more, because whilst I love the other culottes, there is something great about a pull-on pair as well. The legs are extremely wide on these, and I definitely think I would adjust that for the future. But it's strange how I fall in and out. I fell out of love with them and was really disappointed, but actually they've become a really useful item to wear, and they're perfectly fine to wear out. I'm just being fussy about how they look on me, and probably will make another pair now, but probably make the waistband shallower because I think it was just too deep and didn't suit me. So talking about elastic, I released a video the other day of 5 sewing tips. I'd love it if you went and had a look. I'm planning to do more. I've had some lovely feedback and people saying that even though they've been sewing for a long time, there were still useful tips in there, and one of them was around elastics, so do go and have a look. But I'd just like to show you, I have started another pair of summer shorts. So I'm not going to talk about the elastic tip here. I want to talk about something else. So these at the moment looking a bit Bermuda shorty, but these again are another like in the garden kind of short, and they were also a wearable toile. I'm super yawny today, so I'm really sorry if that's coming across. I hopefully would have edited some out. Now I made these shorts last year, and in my summer plans I shared the pink gingham ones, but the fit just wasn't quite right. For those of you like myself with a more rounded booty, they were just not feeling 100% comfortable. So I looked up, and I'll put the link below. I found a really useful website on how to do adjustments for trousers, for things like pulling at the crotch, not enough around the bottom, all that sort of thing. And there was a really great tip about cutting a slit, a bit like a full butt adjustment type. This is a full bum adjustment. So you go from the outer edge and you cut a slit across, and then you open it up at the curved part here that goes around the booty. You open it up here and then retape it here, and obviously it changes the shape of the top a bit, but what you get there is the depth you need to come down and round your bottom, and I can tell you it worked. So my wearable toiles, much better round the bottom, and a great tip. So I'll just hold that up again so you can see where I've cut there, splayed it here to create greater depth for going around the curve of my bottom. There's also a tip that if you've got a flat bottom as well, and it's really useful, those little bits. I think just take a moment to talk about shorts. For me, wearing shorts and trying to find shorts in a shop that I like is not something I've enjoyed doing, and I've for many years have avoided owning shorts because I rarely find ones that fit well, I rarely find ones that I feel good in, and it forces me to have uncomfortable thoughts and relationship with that part of my body that I don't have to think about when I'm wearing skirts and dresses. And so I realised that if I can sew and make a pair of shorts that feels comfortable, I can enjoy wearing shorts. I had a pair on that I made last year, just yesterday, around the house in the evening. I'd been outside doing a few bits, came in, and I thought, I'm comfortable, I'm cool, I need to get over this thing of not wearing them. But most of the thing about not wearing them is I couldn't find shorts in the shops that felt comfortable and made me feel good. By sewing, I've had to go through the uncomfortable stage. I've had to accept that I need to make a fuller bottom shape, but actually the joy of putting on a short that feels comfortable. And now I've got the pattern right, I can do it in other colours. So there we go. I don't know how the rest of you feel about shorts. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. And maybe I'm uncommon, maybe I'm common, I don't know. It's not often something ladies talk about with each other, is it? Other things that I'm in progress with, I have cut out the Elodie wrap dress. It's in this gorgeous fabric here, which I have shared before when I'm planning to do it. It is now all cut out, and I need to start the sewing. I did mention that I have bought a couple of patterns from the fold line. So I've got the Scirocco jumpsuit. You've seen the fabric I want to make my first one with that. I have caved and got the Donny shirt, and I have a fabric in mind for that already. And I also caved and got the Charlie caftan that I'm just seeing everywhere. I'm probably late to the party again as well, but it looks great. I love it. So 3 plans there of things I want to do quite soon, and I do love the fold line the way they come. So that's it for sewing plans. Now I'd like to tell you about something else that's coming up. There is a little video on this about the Busy Bee Sewing Challenge, but just want to give a quick shout out to say that we're very excited that we have 5 people, including myself, involved now, and there will be a whole playlist and things going from that. But the first one is to work on a pattern that someone else selects for you, And what we decided to do is not make it outside someone's comfort zone if they don't want to. So someone might say no zips or no trousers please, something like that, but that's coming soon. So looking forward to welcoming and sharing other people. So Carol has a YouTube channel, she's joining in. We've got a lady who doesn't have a YouTube channel who's just on Instagram, which is absolutely great. There's Gemini Stitches and there's myself, and I feel like that's only 4. I'll pop the link into everybody below, but really exciting things to come. I love having an opportunity to be creative, and I love sharing and working with other people, and being forced to have to think of things is a great thing for me. So really looking forward to starting our Busy Bee Sewing Challenge. I would really like to hear what your plans are right now. I would love to hear your thoughts on shawl patterns that work for you. So please do drop a comment below. And as I've mentioned before, if you want to see more sort of live up-to-date photos, pop over to Instagram where I'm Sequin Girly, and you can see things as I'm in progress with them. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.